Hey guys, welcome to episode 4 of Deliberating Daisha. Let me move a little closer to the mic. Hold on. Ooh, that's going to be fun to hear later. This is episode 4. My Patreon's all set up, so if you guys don't mind, go supporting me down at Patreon. It's Patreon/Deliberating Daisha, patreon.com/Deliberating Daisha. And I'm not really using this as like a source of income. I just want to get better equipment and, make the podcast more fun and more interactive. Just help out. I'm wearing a shirt I got from the mattress that I have, the mattress company, which is Lou, and I love that mattress, so not spons. This episode, I'm going to be drinking wine and eating a brownie, so sorry in advance for the eating SMAR, SMR. So, this is going to be the last week I have one more chapter of It Gets Worse, so I'll discuss it next week, my whole ideas of It Gets Worse, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on It Gets Worse. This is the last week I'll be doing it. Here's the next book I will be reading. It's Christopher Moore, The Last Lizard of Melancholy Cove, and this will be the second Chris Moore book I read. I read Fluke, and Fluke was really interesting. If you haven't read Fluke, it's pretty good. I like Christopher Moore's writing, and it's pretty fun. So, yeah. So I read 5 chapters this week, so we'll actually have stuff to talk about now. So first, I'm going to take a sip of wine. So, the first chapter I read was Welcome to Mexico, and this is basically just him talking about his trip to Mexico by accident. He took an accidental trip to Mexico, which was really funny to read about, because, he lives in California, and it's very easy to get to Mexico by accident, so, yay. So what I wanted to talk about with this chapter is traveling and being scared, because he was scared because, he's a very inside person, and so am I, and I would love to travel, but there's, definitely being a female, a lot of things you gotta be scared of, and me and Ryan have talked about traveling, but money right now is not having it, but I would love to travel the world and go to different countries and experience life, but the main reason why I would want to travel is to go to different zoos. I love the zoos, and I know they're very controversial, but I still, just because these animals are living in an enclosed area, but some zoos are fine. Like safari parks are really cool because they get to roam around and everything. And some zoos, I would just like to compare different countries' zoos, man. So, but, traveling is always a scary thought, definitely with flying. It is safe, but there's always that risk of plane crash or anything like that. Speaking of that, there actually was a plane crash last week in Connecticut, which is crazy to think about, because that's where my coworker is from. So I was like, is this close to where you live? She's like, actually, that's the town over. She's like, that's where my dad works. I was like, what? So fun stuff. It's so weird because I have a mirror right here, so I can see my teal mirror right next to me. For those listening and not watching, I have teal, and I can see it for the first time underneath my hair. Second chapter I read this week, it's a long title, so prepare. Too Many Melons, the story of Lauren Schiffner. This is the story about him and his agent, manager, production coordinator, a lot. And how they started to work together, and why she left and all of this. And it really hit me because he mostly talks about how he realized how he treats people that's close to him. And what I wrote down was experience with people close to you that changed you. And I wrote that because he talks about that when after this happened, he realized he treats people close to him like shit so they don't get too close. And I don't do that with everyone, but I have had experiences with people where I'm like, man, I really shouldn't have done that to that person. And I think one experience I had was one experience that changed me. I can't really think of any, but like there's been situations with like ex-best friends that I've had where I'm like, man, I lost that friend because of this, and wow, I gotta change that. I will say that's one thing. In my current relationship, well, in most of my life, I'm very bad with confrontation and having tough conversations. I have moments where when I am in a not awkward situation, but a hard to process situation, my brain wants to say stuff, but my mouth won't say it. So if I am having a serious conversation with Ryan, I will not shut down, but I'll be thinking but not talking, which causes frustration because in a relationship you need to communicate, and I'm trying to get better at that, but it's very hard to figure out how to get better at saying what's on my mind, because a lot of people are very good at saying the first thing that's on their mind, and I'm very, very bad at it. But I'm trying to work on it, but it is very, very hard, definitely when your brain is just all over the place all the time, and you just don't want to say the wrong thing, and you don't want to cause more problems and all of that. So I have a bad thing about that. Third chapter I read this week was The Tale of Lady Bertha, and this is him talking about his first car. And what I got from it was the thing I wrote down was karma is a real thing sometimes. I've had situations. Oh, that game was at 5 o'clock? Sorry. I read something else that was in my journal or in my thing. Lakers game was on Saturday and I missed it, but they won. So my karma's a real thing, and can I think of a time where karma instantly hit me? I'm trying to think. I think there's only been a couple of times where karma like instantly happened. So in this situation, he was egging cars and then it instantly backfired because he hit a skunk and his car smelled for weeks. I try not to do too many horrible things to people. I think the only karma thing that's ever happened is probably like me starting a rumor about someone in like high school, and then a rumor gets started about me. But I mean, that's high school stuff. I don't think I've had instant karma like in real life yet. I try to be a good person every once in a while, even though inside I'm very, very mean and want to be mean to everyone and don't want to talk to anyone. But I do try to be civil. I try. The fourth chapter I read was The Ghost of My Grandma. And it was very hard for me to come up with a topic for this because he talks about the experience he had with his grandma, who passed away. And I just wanted to kind of talk about the spirit world and supernatural and like what I believe in, really. My grandpa passed away when a couple years back. It's been a while actually now. I think I was 15 when he passed away, so it's been a while. I'm 23 now, so. But it was really hard because that was, I think, ooh, man, I'm already cheering up. Sorry in advance. That was like the first close person in my life to die, and like I've had like great grandparents die, but I was never close to them. Like I'd visit them, visit them like twice in my whole life when I went to their, like before I went to their funeral. But it hit my mom really hard, the one of them that we went to, because she was really close to her, or that grandpa. And when my grandpa passed away, I realized how much, oh man, my eye hurts. Not because I'm crying, it just hurts. I realized how much I wish I would have done with my grandpa. And you can't dwell on the past, of course. And I think everyone in my family moved on very easily. But it was just so hard to, like, definitely since I was there when he got sick. Like, when he was sick. And, like, I saw him not be the fun, energetic grandpa he always was. And cracking jokes and being funny. And it was hard because, like, I have so many good memories of him. And I think there's only been one time where I had a dream and he was there and I woke up and I was like, wow, that's insane. I haven't had any like supernatural experiences, but I definitely believe in spirits and ghosts and people being like able to talk to them. I really do believe in that. I'm just glad I can't see it or sense it. There's been a couple of times where I get like cold stuff, or like a cold chill, and I'm like, ooh, is there a ghost here or am I just cold? Most of the time it's just I'm cold, which is good. I would prefer that. I wasn't expecting to cry, and I'm very sorry I cried, or I'm crying. But just the realization that there's so many memories with my grandpa, and I'll never be able to have those memories again. And some of that stuff that we used to do with him we'll never do again, because the only reason why we did do it was because he loved it. And it kind of sucks. Like, that was always the best part about going to see my real dad, was going to see my grandpa. And I will say now that he's passed away, I definitely cherish the moments with my grandparents on my mom's side way more, and my grandma. I cherish those moments a lot more and really try and go see them at least like now, hopefully once a year, just because I want to have more experiences and more memories to look back on, because I just want to I don't want to have the same situation where I'm like, man, I wish I would have done more with them. But yeah, I would say I try my hardest to talk to those grandparents. Not talk to them, just go see them. I don't really call my grandma as often as I should, but I try. I get busy and I forget, and just life happens. But I'm trying. I just saw her when I went to Kansas, so she's good. Next thing, final chapter, called Human Trash. And he talks about how this is when this is how he got his thick skin for criticism, which in the industry we want to be in, which is media and entertainment and film and all of that, you have to have thick skin, because not everyone's gonna like what you do, and it's very hard to accept that. I feel like I have a thick skin, but sometimes some certain things hurt. I think it just depends on the project and how long you worked on a thing. There's some times where I worked really, really hard on one thing, and then that's the thing that gets criticized the most, and that hurts the most. Because you just put so much of your heart into it, and then, like, people are like, well, blah, 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 but there will always be those people out there who love what you do and love it. Like Shane Dawson, yes, his material is very not the most PG, or not the most for general audience, not for everyone. It's mostly for people with sick minds, and who have a dark sense of humor, which I feel like that's why I very much love him and love what he does, because of that. And he's found his audience for that. And of course there's gonna be people out there who are like, ugh, we watch Shane Dawson. And I get that like so much when I'm like, oh, I love Shane Dawson, and people are like, you like Shane Dawson? And I get that about a lot of YouTubers that I watch. But I don't care. I have a different type of sense of humor. I find different things entertaining, and everyone does. But there are people out there who love what you do. And that's why I'm doing this podcast, is because even though I might not have an audience right now, eventually I will find an audience. And I just want to connect with those people, because it's nice to have people who are like-minded around you, but it's also good to have people who criticize your work so you can become better. And that's definitely a takeaway, that if you want to do anything that people are going to criticize, that's definitely one thing you got to remember, is that it's good to be criticized for certain things. So either you can improve on it, or you can decide, well, that's obviously not for them, I'm not going to do it. But I feel like criticism is good, so you can improve yourself and maybe make stuff for everyone. But if you don't want to, then you don't have to. Like, if what you're doing is working, then just keep doing it. But that's just my thoughts on it. So that's my thoughts on It Gets Worse. Questions this week for Welcome to Mexico. Where is your dream place to travel? And also, why? I feel like a lot of people have dream places. I definitely want to go to Europe, because I've never been to Europe, and I feel like if you go one place, you go to all of them. Definitely because I can see so many zoos. Second one for Too Many Melons, the story of Lauren Schneppner. I want to ask you guys, what is one experience you had with someone that changed you? I can't think of any other than me figuring out how to be able to speak my mind without overthinking it. Third question for the tale of Lady Bertha. Have you ever had a situation where karma instantly hit you? I feel like it'd be really funny to hear those stories and relate to people. Fourth, the ghost of my grandma. Have you ever had a supernatural experience happened? And if not, do you believe in the spirit world and ghost world and all of that? Just want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. Five and final question for Human Trash is, what is the hardest criticism you've gotten? Don't do anything personal, body type or anything like that, because that's a whole nother topic. I feel like body shaming and body trying to change people and how they look is very, very different from telling people about their work. Yes, art is a part of you, but it's not your physical appearance. For me, it's different. A lot different, to be honest with you. So, that's just my opinion. Discuss, though. And so, now we move on to the wow moments of the week. So, first thing, Stranger Things season motherfucking 4. If all of you are not caught up on Stranger Things, I'm very upset with you, because you should be. Stranger Things is so fucking good. So, Stranger Things 4 is coming out. Dofer Brothers are totally on board and gonna make it, and I believe they're also making a season 5. I'm not really sure, didn't really read it. I just saw season 4 and I was super excited. I love season 3. Season 2, I feel like if you watch it season 1, season 2, season 3, back to back, then season 2 makes more sense, but it's needed. Because the second time I watched it, I was like, okay, this is okay. It's not as bad as I remember it. But season 4, super excited. And then Tuesday, there wasn't a lot happening Tuesday, or nothing that I was like, oh, great. But 1st of October, we're in October. It's crazy that it's October. And in 2 months, it will be December. And then it will be January, and then February, and March, and April, May, June, July, and all of those months. It's just crazy to think that it's October already. Not expecting it at all. So, October. I like October. I like all the fun decorations. This is when decorating season starts. I'm super excited about it, because I'm like, oh, look at all the houses. So, I like October. What are your guys' thoughts on October? What's your favorite part of October? other than pumpkin spice latte for all of my my Starbucks fans out there. I had Starbucks this morning. That's probably why I'm hyper right now. That might be it, actually. Had a little coffee late. Wednesday, Shane Dawson's doc came out. I don't know if this was episode 1 or 2, but I've not seen it yet, so I can't talk too much about it. But I am very, 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 very happy that it finally came out and that he's doing something that he loves. And he's a great filmmaker. Like, if I could edit the docs for him, I'd be so happy to work with him. He's a genius when it comes to anything filmmaking. And I think these docs are going to be really well. They're probably so good. Definitely for a little YouTube thing. He's just an amazing storyteller and can come up. He just knows what to do, and it's just amazing to watch, like, the things that he makes. Sorry, I saw something on I think there's a hole in my shoe rack. Sorry, got distracted. Thursday was Mean Girls Day, October 3rd. For all of you who don't love Mean Girls like me, October 3rd is the day when Lindsay Lohan asks, "What day is it?" And he says October 3rd. I love Mean Girls. It's like my favorite movie. It's like one of my favorite movies. I could watch that movie over and over. There will be a Mean Girls musical soon. I'm really excited. I'm going to have to go watch it. Me and Ryan are very, very much obsessed with Mean Girls. I'm very, very obsessed with Mean Girls. Yeah. Not much I can say. Gotta wear pink on Wednesdays, though, always. Even though I don't. Shh, don't tell them. Don't tell the plastics. And Friday, final thing. This is going to be a really great topic. I want to talk about Martin Scorsese talking about Marvel movies. So, I love Marvel and superhero movies, but all I'm going to say is that they are not cinematic movies. I will agree with him there. But that's common knowledge. People make superhero movies to make money, not so they can get Oscars or whatever other awards. And I understand where Martin Scorsese is coming from because he's a great filmmaker, but you can't call it cinematic if they're not trying to be cinematic. I will always go watch a Marvel movie, but I will also go see cinematic films. It's just a different experience for either one. Superhero movies, you know what you're gonna get. Cinematic movies, kind of a toss-up. You never know if it's gonna be beautifully shot, great story. You can actually, cinematic movies, you know it's gonna be great, like beautifully shot, but you don't know if the story's gonna be there. Marvel movies, you don't gotta worry about that. They're just there to make money and characters and like superheroes. They do not care about story, about cinematic. They don't care about any of that. They just want to make money. And I'm okay with that because I like these superheroes. I just wish people, not even Martin Scorsese, I just wish people in general would stop trying to be like, well, I'm gonna start seeing Marvel, like, superhero movies because they're all the same. No dip. When did you figure that out, dipshit? Like, of course they're all the same. They're not different. You know what you're getting. But people are still gonna go watch them because they know what they're getting and their expectations won't be let down. That's like the worst part about going to the movies, is you're paying $15 for a movie. That's 2 hours. Well, now cutting to 3. That's almost 2 to 3 hours long. Oh no, just 2 hours. 2 hours long. So then you can decide if it was worth your money or not worth your money. And obviously, superhero movies are kind of worth the money. Because here's my thing. when you go to see a superhero movie, you know what you're getting. You're going to get some great action, you're going to get maybe some drama, you're going to get some funny moments, you're going to get some good camera angles, you get a lot of CG, sometimes it's bad, but it's fine. But overall, you know what you're getting. And the sound design is always great. Speaking of that, whoever the fuck did the sound design for fucking Orange is the New Black, I'm mad because he did a terrible job. I hate it so much. But besides the point, that's the problem with people saying I'm tired of superhero movies. Yeah, okay. Probably so is everyone else. But you know it's going to be a good movie. Like, it might not be the best story, it might not be anything else, but it's going to be a good movie and you're going to get your money's worth. And all the other movies, like, all the other movies that come out that aren't superhero movies, you never know if you want to pay $15 for a movie. Unless it's a superhero movie, because you don't know what you're going to get. If it's not a big name director or big A-list actors, you don't know if you want to pay $15 to go see it. And if you do, that means you're a film person. Let's be real. I would love to go support all the movies, but some movies just fucking suck. I'm not gonna go pay fucking $15 and be like, wow, I wasted my money. And then you're gonna be mad the rest of the day. And that's coming from someone who went to film school and who, like, really appreciates some good, hard-working filmmaking. Like, I went to go see, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because it's Quentin Tarantino. Of course it's gonna be good. Was it the best? No. But it was still good. I hate when people, and this is why it bothers me. I hate when people complain about superhero movies and that they want more cinematic movies. But then they go see a cinematic movie and then they go fucking complain about it because it was bad and they wasted their money. What'd you expect? It to be good? Sometimes it's gonna be bad. And it just bothers me. Let me know what you guys think. There are only certain directors I will go see in theaters. Maybe sometimes I'll see just a random director, but it's hard to pay $15 and that's why people go to cheap theaters, because they want to see it, but they don't want to pay $15. I have a cheap theater by my house. I'm super happy. It's only $5 to go see a movie, and I'm cool with that. So it's just annoying. I hate it. I just don't like people. I understand people are gonna complain about whatever the fuck they want, but it bothers me because I don't want to keep saying it. Just because, like, it's not going to change anything. It's Hollywood. They don't give a shit about what you think. Let's be real. They don't give a shit. They're going to keep doing what makes them money. So, good luck trying to not have that affect you or any way possible. So, just my thoughts, you know. You know how it is. So, it's that time. I feel like this episode was a little longer than last week, and this probably is going to be the average of how long each episode is. Still trying to figure out a format, but go support my Patreon if you want. If not, well, whatever. Podcast comes out every Friday on iTunes, Soundcloud, and YouTube. All the links in the description for all of them. I just realized something. My bad if you're listening to this on SoundCloud and I did not put the YouTube link. I am sorry. I'm just realizing that now. But comes out on Fridays at between 9 and 10 o'clock. So look for that. Please leave ideas or your thoughts or answers to the questions down below. I do write out the questions in the description, so if you guys want to refresh of what the questions were, just look in the comments down below. Please, on iTunes, please rate and subscribe so you get notified when I upload a new podcast. Just comment, share, like, favorite, and help me out, because I want to keep doing this, but I can't if no one's listening, but probably still will, because I don't care. I just like talking, so, it's like why I do my weekly vlogs. And if you guys want to go watch those, I post at like 6:30 every morning. Every day I commute to work, I post a vlog from my Samsung phone. So, and don't forget, we're going to be reading this book next week. I'm really excited about it. It's based in California. It's going to be really interesting. These are weird looking chapters already. Great. So we'll figure out how these are going to go. It might take me a little longer to read them, but I'm really excited about it. So that's it. I'm going to eat my brownie and drink my wine and watch some Power. And that's it for me today. I'm going to go smoke first. But that's this podcast, and I will talk to you guys next week.